joining us. Welcome to Situations and Conversations. I am your host, Renee. And as you know by now, this is the show where we aim to elevate, entertain, educate, empower, and enlighten. And there is a company that actually embodies all of my 5 E's, and I'm so happy to partner with Comcast today. You know, we're going to actually highlight a program that Comcast has going. It's called Comcast Rise. And there are 2 out of the 8 BIPOC recipients of the award with us today. So I am so pleased to introduce you to Sharon Maxwell of Bratton Construction. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you.
This is exciting. Congratulations on being a Comcast Rise recipient.
Yes, this is just awesome. It's an awesome opportunity.
Now, I want to make sure I got this right. Construction, right?
That's right.
How did you get into construction?
That's what most people usually ask. And, you know, it goes all the way back to the 1980s when crack cocaine epidemic, you know, blighted and destroyed North and Northeast Portland. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting on my couch in 1993 and I said, if this community is going to change, it's going to take us, the people who live here. And so I heard about the construction trades program that Senator Margaret Carter and Senator Gordon Smith had brought to the Portland Community College Cascade campus. Okay. And I was working for the North Portland Youth and Family Center at the time, and I just didn't see that going anywhere. And, you know, the wage was okay, but it wasn't taking care of me and my family. Understood. And so I went up to the Cascade College and found out about the opportunity. They were offering 10 different trades. And I said, well, Jesus was a carpenter, I'm becoming a carpenter.
Well, how about that? I mean, if there was ever a good reason to get into carpentry.
Exactly.
It's gonna be Jesus.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, and you know, I think that's incredible. You actually were sitting around thinking, I can do this?
Yes, I'm adventurous and I like being outdoors, and you know, it's just kind of feeling mundane every day, going into the office. Yeah. And, you know, and so I said, you know, I think this will be a great opportunity. And as I was growing up, I just knew that my life was going to be different. And when I seen things going the way they were when I first started college, when I first graduated from high school, and I said, wow, you know, this is not what I expected, you know, as a freshman in college, to see my community being destroyed. And over a 10-year period, you know, when things were happening, I said, as a freshman in college, I said, I know our elected officials and our community leaders are going to take care of this problem, and I'm going to go ahead and go to school. Well, about 10 years went by and things were even worse. Right. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to try this. And so I went through the 9-month pre-apprenticeship program, and then I tried to become a carpenter, and the union was still discriminating against women at the time. And so the Rose Quarter project was happening, and I heard about this opportunity to become a sprinkler fitter. And that's what
sprinkler fitter?
A sprinkler fitter. So fire protection systems. Okay. So the Rose Quarter project, with my 3 journeymen, and another apprentice, I cut and reamed most of the pipe in the whole Rose Quarter.
You got to be kidding me.
Yes.
That's you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And you don't mind getting down in there and getting dirty?
Nope. It was, you know, something. While I was on that project, I was able to see all of the trades, and I said, this is it. This is what's going to help us rebuild our own community and provide living wage jobs for people in the community. And because I was not seeing people who look like me, neither male or female, on any of the projects. Right. And I said, you know what, I'm going to start my own business one day. And so I ended up taking all of the courses, even while I was doing my apprenticeship. And yeah.
I mean, and did you have a family at that time too?
I had 4 small children. Yes.
Sharon, stop it. Yeah. What are you? Do you have a cape on behind you back there that I didn't see? That's incredible. Yeah. Well, how did you find the internal fortitude to do all of that?
Well, my faith is strong, and, you know, I put my trust in God, and I just believe He gave me the vision to be able to move forward and to be able to, capture that vision. It says, write the vision, make it plain that he that reads can run. And that's what I did. I, went for it, and I went through all the training through the pre-apprenticeship program. They, for women, our upper body strength is not the same as men. And so I began to, do my workouts and strengthen with weights to be able to, lift 50 to 100 pounds. Yeah. And so, but, nowadays, okay, we have tools and equipment so you don't have to break down your body like they did in the olden days, right?
So long ago.
So long ago, right.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, tell me this. How did you find out about the Comcast RISE program?
Well, I received an email and it says, would you like to be awarded Comcast RISE? And it said what they were offering, 3 different packages. And I was just like, wow, this is great, because at the time, I was looking to, increase our technology at the location where we're at. It was hard for us to get the internet. And so, it just seemed like perfect, right? Yeah. And so I applied, and they said, you're one of our winners. And I was like, wow, this is great.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the program focuses on BIPOC business owners here in Portland. I think they only awarded 8 so far in Portland. You are one of the 8.
Oh, wow.
So congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you.
Now,
thank you.
Real quick, tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so Bratton Construction, I've been in the construction industry for 25 years. I've been running my business for 21 years. And so we are a general contractor and a specialty contractor. As a woman in a non-traditional industry, it's been really hard because men don't think women should be side by side working in the same field that they are, because it has something to do with their ego. But how I see
the
it,
old school masculinity.
Exactly. And so how I see it is that women complement. And so, I just forged myself, and my ex-husband at the time, we both started the business together. And so I became a member of OWAMI, which is the Oregon Association for Minority Entrepreneurs. And so for the first year, I was able to see how that on the public works projects that we could make more revenue. And so I changed our business model from just residential to residential and commercial general contractor. And so as we, move forward, I, had to increase our bonding. And so it was a struggle, because white males don't want, Black women or people of color, they don't think that we're worthy to work in the construction industry. And so I actually partnered and sponsored with our Senator Chip Shields at the time to be able to get that public works bond waived, because it was causing small businesses like myself to have to put out way more money up front before we could even get a contract. And so when I sponsored that bill, for 5 years, small businesses, DBE, MBE, so that's a disadvantaged business, a minority business, or woman-owned business, we were able to get that waived. And so it helped us to be more competitive, and to be able to secure more contracts.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Not only are you working for you, but you are working for the whole community and a collective of business owners just like you.
Yes.
This is great.
Yes.
This is great. I'm so happy. Now, I want you to stick around because we have to take a break.
Okay.
We know that we have the beauty and brilliance to positively shape our lives. Unfortunately, racism, continuous displacement, and discrimination have created barriers to our success. So, if you feel invisible and you're not being heard, if the social, emotional, and educational needs of your kids aren't being met, we want you to know we are here. We see you, we hear you, We are ready to walk with you on your journey to success.
Congratulations to Afternoon Live's Trey Renee, honored with the Emmy Award for Best Host.
Welcome back to Situations and Conversations. Today, we are highlighting Comcast RISE Award recipients. Now, if you're not familiar with the Comcast RISE program, this is a program from Comcast developed, I believe, back in October for BIPOC small business owners during this horrible, horrible economic downturn during the pandemic. And so we have another recipient with us today. Please join me in welcoming Deshaun Williams.
Yeah.
Hi, Deshaun.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
So you got this award for your R.A.A.P counseling and consulting.
That's correct.
What does R.A.A.P stand for?
I'm so glad you asked. It stands for Raising an Alternative Perspective, Counseling and Consulting. That name came to me because I recognize in the Black community and communities of color that counseling sometimes is seen as a bad thing. And so everybody can benefit from counseling. And so I want people to know that. So I want to raise an alternative perspective.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, where is your practice?
My practice is located at 333 Northeast Russell, right on MOK and Russell Street, right there on the corner.
In the community.
In the community.
Yeah, that's necessary. You know, I am a mental health professional myself. I believe we share the same licensing credentials. You're
Yes,
an LCSW.
I am.
I am too.
Yeah.
So this is like a little camaraderie going on. And you know, you don't have to convince me about how important mental health is for everybody, but particularly erasing the stigma in our community. How do you feel that you're going to be able to tackle that?
Well, I think it starts with representation. And I think having a practice, a group practice that's geared towards allowing opportunities for other clinicians of color to work and to start their own private practice with under my group name.
Right.
So I think when there's enough representation, I think people can see that counseling isn't all that scary and that there's somebody that looks just like you who you can tell all of your problems to.
Yeah, now can you talk a little bit about why that's so important? Because even when I had a private practice, I would often find that people would still kind of challenge that notion a little bit, like, well, I don't have to see a Black therapist just because I'm Black. And you're right, you don't. But what would you say to somebody who's on the fence about that?
I think what's important is that counseling is about relationship. And at the core of it all, I would probably give it 95% of the work that is done is about relationship and building relationship and connection. And so when you have someone that looks like you, oftentimes, or that has shared experience.
Right, because that's important too.
Yes, definitely.
Looks are good,
Uh-huh.
but the shared experience and a natural understanding is another level.
It brings in a greater sense of understanding and a greater sense of connection, because then you don't feel like you have to explain yourself. You can just be you when you're in sessions.
Absolutely. Which is so important, because at the root of it, we need to get down and start stripping down some things.
That's right.
And having that extra barrier is just unnecessary.
That's right. And
take up more of your money.
Yeah, and what do you do when you want to talk about moments where you've experienced racism and you're sitting across from someone who doesn't share your experience or that is of dominant culture, who's white? Can you actually be honest and feel like you're going to be able to get your needs met? I would probably say no. It would be really, really challenging to do that. So that's the other reason why I think it's important to have someone that looks like you.
No, I agree. I agree. Now, tell me, how did you come across the Comcast RISE program?
So I actually received an email.
They just sending out emails to Black-owned businesses? Did anybody else get an email?
Actually, this email came through the Good People Network.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but that probably could be a whole nother topic.
Is that an email list?
It's an email listserv that is amongst African Americans and Black folks.
Yeah, I'm on that list.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I probably skipped over that one. I shouldn't have.
And so they sent out an email blast about this opportunity. And I first looked at it, I don't think it's for me. And the more I sort of dug into it and looked and went to the website, I said, okay, I see what Comcast is doing, and this looks like something that I could benefit from.
And how have you benefited? How are you able to utilize this award in order to, I guess, increase not only your visibility, but help the community?
Yeah, definitely. So I think at the point in time in which my business was shifting from one office to another, it was growing. We got hit with the pandemic. So everything sort of shut down. My business was impacted because of just the other connecting companies that helped to make my business stay afloat. They were all impacted by it, so it slowed down my business,
Right.
and so which impacts the bottom line. But the technology piece is something that we really needed because it helps to reduce the amount of paper. And then it also helps for us to be able to have greater connections with our clients.
Yeah.
So I was awarded the technology, and it really enhanced our technology. It enhanced our ability to stay connected to the clients that we serve.
Right,
which is
because
super
virtually
important.
is where it's at still,
Yes.
right? And so if
Yes.
you didn't have that technology, you were definitely going to be in trouble. And as would the community be in trouble, because now more than ever, I mean, this whole pandemic, this has been really rough. Mentally really tough for a lot of folks, including, communities of color where we have been so exposed and traumatized by so much happening. And so we need you. We need you. So thank goodness that the Comcast Rise Technology Award was awarded to you, because that can help you connect with so many people that you were probably just seeing face to face before.
That's correct. That's
Yeah.
so correct. Thank you for saying that. And it's really important at this particular time because of those needs. And we're seeing an increase of people. I'm seeing more people that have never been to counseling before now than I've ever had before. And I've been doing this since 2014.
Wow.
And so the need is really, really growing. And so I'm so grateful for the Comcast Award to be able to offer or to stay connected to my clients virtually.
I'm happy that you got the award. I'm grateful to Comcast, but I am more grateful to you because you are necessary. And the fact that you are here, there's not a lot of us out here. And I was really conflicted when I shut down my private practice to kind of do this more on a broad scale, trying to bring the information to more people in my way. Because they were like, man, you're one of the few, licensed therapists that we have out here. But the fact that you're here and your practice is building more therapists up to help people in the community, thank you so very much for everything you're doing. Seriously, thank you so much. Now, I want you to stick around too, because you and Sharon, they're both coming back after the break so that we can get some viewer questions from our young people, because we're all about amplifying young voices around here. So don't go away. More Situations and Conversations when we come back. Situations and Conversations with Renee is sponsored by Black Parent Initiative, learning and growing together so families can thrive. Education Explorers, parents. With companies starting to bring people back into the office and workspace, count on Education Explorers for safe, quality, reliable, and culturally sound childcare. They have low to no cost spaces available for infants and children up to 4 years old at their 2 locations in Tigard. Contact them online at educationexplorershcc.com or give them a call at 971-266-3646. Furniture and decor provided by Home Place Furniture and Design. Get all your furniture and design needs at Home Place Furniture and Design, with 2 locations in Oregon to serve you. Wardrobe for Renee, that's me, provided by Janelle James Boutique, located at Bridgeport Village in Tigard. Styling services were provided by Dawn Cannon.
Hi, I'm Sharon Maxwell, and I am the owner of Bratton Construction, LLC. We're a general contractor in Oregon, Washington, Texas, and we perform both vertical and civil work. We're licensed plumbers, we paint, we do new construction, renovation, tenant improvement, as well as remodeling, and we would love to do your next project.
Hello everyone, my name is Deshaun Williams and I'm the owner of R.A.A.P Counseling and Consulting, which stands for Raising an Alternative Perspective. We provide counseling services to youth, families, and adults of the BIPOC community. You can find us at www.rapcounseling.com, and you can schedule an appointment at 503-419-6456. We look forward to hearing from you.
And we are back with Situations and Conversations. I'm your host, Renee. Today, we are talking to two Comcast Rise recipients right here in our area. If you're not familiar, Comcast Rise is a program for BIPOC small business owners who have been impacted by the pandemic and just, giving them a little love and some technology. Yes. So we welcome back Sharon and DeShawn.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You guys, it's been so great talking to you. I really am so happy and honored that you took some time out to come hang with us. But the kids have questions.
Right.
They always have questions, right?
They do.
And they want answers.
Right.
So we're going to go over to our kid cam and see what they have to say.
Hey, Trey. A student asked, what were your greatest challenges as Black people owning your own business?
Sharon first.
So for me, it's been access to capital, as well as even vendors and suppliers, because many times I would call a vendor or supplier to get a quote, and they would, just go, who is this? What do you want? And literally hang the phone up.
What? Now,
Yes.
Do you think that's because you were a woman?
I think,
do you think that was
a woman, and the fact that more competition.
Well, and do you tie that to racism at all?
I definitely do.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. Because literally, many times when I go to like pre-bids and, project meetings, they won't even say hello. They won't even speak. They won't even acknowledge me, won't look at me. And I walk in all bubbly, hello, hello, hello.
Right.
And trying to engage and have a conversation and,
Nothing.
it's,
Crickets.
yeah, exactly.
So rude.
Very.
Who would do that to my Sharon? You're too nice and too bubbly. Oh, that's awful. But you know what? You overcome.
That's
You
right.
overcome.
And that's what I have done is continued forward.
That's right. That's right. DeShawn, what about you?
Yeah, I would say that my greatest challenge has been, I would agree with Sharon, is the access to capital. And I also think I applied for multiple contracts. And one of the people that I applied a contract with, they actually made a comment that was like borderline against against my race. And
what?
Yeah, and it was pretty discouraging, actually. And I went through the amount of hoops that I had to go through to get the contract, and then once I got it, I got no referrals.
Oh,
And so it
wow.
was a bit of a challenge.
Wow, that's disheartening. And these are, but I'm not surprised. It makes me sick, but I'm not surprised because this is the world that we live in.
Right. And we live in one of the whitest states in the nation as well.
It's
So
true.
it's, the home of the Ku Klux Klan.
That's a lot of people don't know that.
Yes.
You do your homework on Oregon.
Yes.
Because I did I'm not originally from here like you guys.
Right.
I'm from California, but I did read some books when
Right.
my husband decided to take that good old job with the swoosh
Okay.
that moved us out here. You understand?
Right. Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay. All right, well, knowledge is power.
Yes.
And so I armed myself with the knowledge so that I wasn't walking around here, ignorant
Sure. That's right.
and living in the clouds in some sort of bliss in my
Right.
blackness, right?
Exactly.
But at the same time, it does hurt. It hurts. But you guys continue to persevere,
Yes.
and you're teaching these kids that
That's right.
with every step you take.
Yes.
And I appreciate you for that.
A challenge
appreciate
is
you.
an opportunity.
That's right.
There it is.
That's how I
There
see
it
it.
is. You heard that, kids? All right. What's our next question?
Hey, Trey. A student wanted to know, how does racism and white supremacy affect your business?
Want to just share another story?
Wow. Well, I think I'll answer that in two ways. It impacts my business in a good way because my business is focused on working with people of color and Black people. And so I have the opportunity of working with people who have been impacted by racism and by white supremacy. And I get an opportunity to share with them and talk with them and help them work through some of the difficulties that come with experiencing racism and living in a world that is oppressive. And so through that, people experience that things aren't their faults, and they're able to move past some of the white supremacist ways that we experience on a day-to-day. The negative side to all this is that you do get you do get people, or you do get other companies that don't really want to partner with you because of the business that you own or because of the color of your skin. And I just think that those sorts of things continue to send messages to practitioners that you shouldn't be doing this work. That put up a lot of barriers to keep you from being able to do this work. But I'm so grateful that we have businesses like Sharon and myself who represent Black communities to let you know that you can do it, and for young people that you can do it.
Yes, and for me, what I've experienced, and this is across the board with municipalities, cities, people who work for ODOT, just blatant discrimination, basically asking me, what do I think that I'm doing? Why am I here? The police being called on my employees as we are working on job sites, telling the police that we're stealing things.
Wow.
Multiple times.
Meanwhile, you're building things up.
Yes.
Building the community up.
Yes.
And the police are being called because they think you're stealing something.
Yeah, and they racial profile my employees. The police come and they sit at the project site and try to see if they have a record. They'll ask their names and just really intimidate the workforce. And I come out and I say, well, what's going on? And they say, oh, we just had to check these guys out. And it's just so frustrating.
And that takes time away from the project.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. But the good news, but still, and through all of this, you guys continue to persevere. That's it. And so that is the message, right?
Yes.
Forward. And I'm so glad that Comcast and the Comcast Rise program is helping that happen for not only you guys, but for other BIPOC business owners.
Right.
So I'm going to say this before we go. If you have a business and you are a BIPOC company, please continue to apply for the Comcast Rise program. There are still opportunities available, right?
Yes.
Don't wait for the email.
Right.
They got the email. Don't wait for the email. Go straight to the website. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here and sharing your stories, your experience, and amplifying, the youth and encouraging them along the way. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yay. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I love and appreciate you for that. Please, please, please take excellent care of yourselves until we meet again. And when you do, make sure you take care of someone else, because that is also our mission. When you think me, think we. See you next time. Thank you.
Situations and Conversations with Renee is sponsored by Black Parent Initiative, growing at the speed of relationships. Education Explorers, culturally sound, quality childcare you can count on. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.